Team Chevy, Team Penske, 108th Indianapolis 500, done, owned by Team Chevy, Team Penske. Joseph Newgarden, your first back-to-back race winner here since Helio Castroneves did it in 2002. Congratulations, truly. We have not seen this kind of domination from the start to the very finish. Swept the front row. Newgarden's number 2 Chevy crew blew everybody out of the water in the pit stop competition that didn't necessarily feature super heavily in the first half of the race, even the first 3/4 of the race, but really, truly, Newgarden started to show he was for real. Nobody had an answer for him. Pato O'Ward absolutely crushed. We're going to speak to him in just one moment. Second again, spoke with Zach Brown, McLaren Racing CEO. Not too happy to have an entire day of seconds here at the Indy 500 again. Formula E, Formula One, more heartbreak for the folks in Papaya Orange, but delight for Team Penske. Joseph, that number 2 crew, telling you, not just on pit lane with the speed of their pit stops, but the race engineering as well. Incredibly strong with having to draft some folks in to look after the car, to strategize the car as well. Just truly phenomenal performance. We refer to Scott Dixon, who finished 3rd, top runner for Honda, as the best of his generation, and we'd say as long as he's an active driver in IndyCar, the best overall living IndyCar driver functioning and racing in IndyCar. I've been saying for a while, others have as well. Newgarden, 10, 11, however many years younger than Dixon, kind of the following generation after Dixon. Newgarden's been the best of that generation for a good long while, cementing that fact. Honestly, was never in question. What he needed to really drive that point home, his first Indy 500 win. Let's hear from a teary-eyed Pato O'Ward who can tell you about the other side of elation. I hate seeing that redness in your eyes, but I hope you know you just finished this race having cracked the code. You've come close before, a little too hard, a little too pulling back. You cracked the code this year. I know that's not what you want to hear, and it doesn't feel like it because you're not drinking milk, but can you appreciate the fact that we now expect you to come here and win every year going forward?
I want to win. I want to win one before I start thinking I'm winning more, right? But you know, I always say that this place owes me nothing. It's just so special every time we come here. We always come here and wake up with a big smile on our faces that we get to race here and see all of the fans. It's just so tough, man, because it's not the first time, and it's been 5 years where we've ultimately been in the same position. It's just, you know, it's just really hard to process, you know, like you don't want to wait.
I'm going to tell you something else you don't want to hear. The guy who's celebrating his second victory right now took him 11 years to get his first. I don't think it's going to take you 11, but looking at the drive you put in today, which was so fast, so smart and mature, that's the code that you cracked. So be mad, be angry, be fueled to come back, but also know you've got it. You have the thing you need to be able to win here.
I love this place. I'm so excited to come back.
Scott Dixon, P3 for Chip Ganassi Racing. P1 within the Honda camp is true. What we thought was going to happen after Chevy mollywopped Honda in qualifying and high boost, we thought that when we went back to lower boost, race boost, things would be a little more equalized, and they were. The Hondas were much closer. But once again, once it came down to those final laps, maximum power, drag race, everybody trying as hard as possible, Chevys were in a different class. But nonetheless, let's talk to Scott Dixon, who, not until we finished filming actually, I think he thought he was 4th, and then his wife, Emma, told him he was 3rd, and then I lied to him and told him he won. But let's hear from Dix, best of the Hondas, admitting that they didn't have what it took to get after the Penske cars. Dix, I hate to say best in class, you drove your balls off, motored super far forward. Looked like you just lacked that last little bit of power.
Yeah, it was tough, man. Honestly, the last stint there, we were pretty much flat out the whole way, just trying to keep up. You know, you could see as soon as we lost the draft, you know, we were hammered. Like, they could run 219s, 220s out front. We were more like 217s, 218s, you know. So great effort by them. You know, congratulations to Joseph. You know, they raced really hard there at the end. It was nice to get Rossi out of the last corner there, but that's all we had, mate.
It's a bizarre thing to say at the end of the Indy 500. Good points day.
Yeah, you don't really care about that stuff, man. But I feel like I'm happy getting out of the car. We gave it everything. The team did, you know, a great job on strategy. We had some good restarts there at the end. But yeah, it is what it is, man. Yeah, no.
You won! Oh, wait a minute. No, you're third. Sorry, gotcha. Want to talk about a young star breaking out here at Indianapolis today. That was a guy, Christian Rasmussen, the rookie with Ed Carpenter Racing. He pulled off some passes that require big brass units, and this kid was not afraid. If anything, that's been his problem. He's never been afraid. But here, he was able to use those big brass ones, but also use some smarts. You, young man, have not had the start to your rookie season that you wanted. So what do, reigning Indy NXT champion? You say, I'm going to go into the hardest race of the year, where I have more opportunities than any other to make mistakes, make none, drive like an animal, and unless I'm wrong, I think you're the top finishing rookie. Tell me about a flawless day.
It was awesome. I mean, it was just, you know, car was on rails, and I just felt comfortable to move up to the high line, and I kind of knew when to do it and when not to do it. You know, I kind of got a lot of shit after practices when I was pulling moves on people, but I thought it was good experience for me to, you know, go out and do it in the race. So I was just very conscious of when to do it, when not to do it in terms of the marbles on the high line. So every time they were swept, I was like, I'm going high. You know, it worked out.
You watch those National Geographic shows with the mama lion and her little cubs, and they play fight to train for when they have to really go for the jugular. That's what you were doing all week long in practice. This car is full of dirt and dust. You ran behind everybody, but tell me about that side, brother, because you were really aggressive, but really smart too. Showed us a lot.
Yeah, I tried to be aggressive when I had the opportunity to move forward, but then when I didn't, and it was just one long train, just kind of save as much fuel and tires as I can, so that when you do have the opportunity, you don't have to save fuel and you have tires to do it. So that was kind of the philosophy about it, and just, yeah, I mean, the first stint was awesome. I think the second stint was awesome as well. There was one of the stints that, the tires just never really switched on for me, which I think hurt us a little bit, because I think there was even possibility of us being even further ahead. But no, I'm super happy. I mean, my best finish in IndyCar so far, and then doing it here at the Speedway is so special.
Santino Ferrucci put on an amazing show for a little more than the first half of the race with AJ Foyt Racing. Looked like he might have had the goods to truly fight with the Team Penske's and the Arrow McLarens. Didn't exactly work out in his favor. Things fell back a little bit here. Finished 8th or so, I believe, but yet another really strong performance by one of the smallest teams in the field. Let's hear about Santino's day.
You know, it is what it is. Man, another top 10 here. I'm slowly collecting all of the numbers, which is great. Yeah, our second to last stint was honestly our toughest. For whatever reason, we had no balance in the car. We were super, super loose in, super, super tight off, big vibration, just put on the last set of tires, and it was kind of like back to normal again. So we're not quite sure what happened there, but man, just proud of this little team. It's so hard to come here and compete with all these guys with such big budgets, and you know, to do what we do, and you know, we're also understaffed. I mean, we built this race car before we came here, so it's, you know, it didn't get exactly all of the love and care some of these other guys have when they have, you know, more employees helping them with catering than we do on a race car.
Wow. let's close on this. You mentioned building this car right before the race. You got something maybe even more important on your suit here. Homes for our troops. If you look at what he's been trying to do along with the team, raise funds to do some really important things. Tell me about that side.
Yeah, so Homes for Our Troops, it's post 9/11 veterans, people that fight for our freedoms, people that, you know, make it possible for us to do what we do today in our beautiful country. And our goal was to raise $4 million. I'm really hoping we hit it. We were close in the race. Running up front really helps because they talk about us, they talk about our charity. Just very proud. Honestly, it's one of the coolest opportunities in my lifetime to not only drive the 14 for AJ Foyt, drive the red, white, and blue car, and have an amazing charity like Homes for Our Troops on it. So, it's really surreal. No matter what happens here, it is still an incredible experience.
So I found Joseph Newgarden, or someone who actually powers Joseph Newgarden. We're not going to be able to speak to him for a couple hours because he'll be busy with all kinds of media stuff. He's up there celebrating being a two-time Indy 500 winner. But I found the person, his biggest fan in the world, also height-wise, but also love and passion-wise. So in lieu of Joseph Newgarden, we're going to speak to a dear friend, Greg Dixon. I think I heard you screaming louder than anyone. I couldn't hear the cars. I heard you screaming when your guy, your backyard barbecue buddy,
Yes.
Joseph Newgarden, just became a two-time Indy 500 winner. Tell us about it. This is what you live for.
So, this is my first Indy 500. It's the 10-year anniversary when my mom and dad went here. I missed last year, my guy won, and then I came this year. I've had about 2 hours of sleep since I got here on Thursday, because it's just so electric, so exciting. The way I can explain it to anyone is, before you have your first kid, you have a lot of people that talk to you and they tell you exactly what it's going to be like, and then you have your first kid and it's absolutely nothing like what they said it was going to be. That's what Indianapolis was to me. I could not believe the speed, could not believe the beauty, the size, just the people, the electricity, the positivity. It was amazing. I'm usually super loud, but I kind of kept my cool until they rolled. Well, I didn't keep my cool at the pit stop challenge, that's for sure. That's for sure. But when they rolled his car from the paddock out to the grid, and I walked with his car out of Gasoline Alley, and I did my chants the whole way down and had everybody pumping up. I think the energy just flowed right into that car because that car was amazing.
So, Joseph Newgarden's number 2 Pennzoil, beautiful, amazing Chevy. It does use this amazing renewable fuel, 100% renewable fuel.
Yes.
I think there's also some renewable Greg Dixon fuel in there as well.
Dorito dust on that thing.
Dorito dust. Also knowing this is your first, you lost your dad last year. You and your mom have really been making an effort to get to as many events as you can. So having you here, even though you weren't able to see the first, to be able to see Joseph's second, seriously, brother.
And my dad was with me because I brought my dad's pin and I was kissing it and hugging and just holding on to it, just talking to my dad that whole last lap, and we just whooped him. We whooped him, and it was everything. I could never have imagined how electric and amazing time I've had.
We can't go. We got to say, there's only one way to say farewell. It starts with the letter W, and there's a lot of O's after it. Take us home, Greg Dixon.
A team, 2 crew, whoa! Business time! Right there! Business time!
Let's cover off a few more items and then say farewell from a race that ended at almost 8 o'clock here on a Sunday night. We had some risers and fallers. Scott McLaughlin starting from pole, so strong. Things started to go a little bit sideways. I think he ended up around 6th or so. Alex Palou charged forward, that was great for him. Alexander Rossi, competitive yet again. Connor Daly using alternate strategy to really have a strong day for him. Callum Ilott sacrificed early. They had some sort of technical problem. I don't recall exactly what, but went all the way to the back, ended up getting into, I think, 11th or so. There's a lot of movement going on here of folks having good days for a while, bad days for another. Nonetheless, Joseph Newgarden, Team Penske and Team Chevy, you guys filled out every chapter in this 2024 edition. of the Indy 500. Thanks for following along all month long on Racer.com. Huge thanks as well to our partners this month, the American Legion. Look forward to speaking to y'all very soon. Oh, hold on, before we finish recording, it's another tradition where we say hi to our shooter, Manbeard.
I don't like this. This is not my job.
Yeah, Manbeard. All right, Indy 500, we are out. I even did the little upward fade. Huh?
Subscribe to Racer and save 24% off the cover price. You'll get the print and digital editions with an issue archive through 2012. Visit info.racer.com to learn more.